I'm your host, Annie Bowles, and this is News du Jour. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the News du Jour, a calmer space to consume the news. So I wanted to ask you here at the top, do you follow us on Instagram, on TikTok? We are newsdujour.podcast on both platforms, and we would love a follow. I know when I started this podcast, I had one main platform that was our sugar-free media platform, but now we have specific News du Jour pages. So if you don't follow those two pages, definitely go give them a follow. They'll show you guys things like merch updates and any updates about the show, you know, what different stories we're covering in our episodes in case you haven't listened that day. You get a snippet of what's going on. So it's definitely a beneficial way to keep up to date with the podcast. First up for today, we do have one mini story and then three other longer stories. Let's get into it. So for our mini story, I wanted to give you guys an update on the New Mexico shooting. So content warning, this story does involve a mass shooting. So since it happened yesterday, we found out a little bit more information about this shooting that went down in New Mexico. The shooter was only 18 years old, you guys. Absolutely heartbreaking. It did actually count as a mass shooting. In yesterday's episode, I had mentioned that maybe it didn't count because only 4 people had been shot. But as of now, the police have come out and saying that 6 people were actually shot. So it does fall into that category of a mass shooting. The victims' names, however, have not been released yet, and neither has that of the perpetrator. So we still don't really have a good handle on what the motivations were here or what exactly went down, but we will, as always, keep you guys posted on that.
Hey, babe, what you got there?
This is a check from Carvana. I just sold my car to them. I went online and Carvana gave me an offer right away. Then they just picked up the car and gave me this.
Oh, that's a big check. Well, obviously you could put this towards your next car, or we could finally get that jacuzzi, or I could start taking tuba lessons, or I could quit my job and write my memoir.
Or I can put it towards my next car with Carvana.
Sorry, your check, not mine.
Sell your car to Carvana. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get a real offer in seconds.
And next up for today, I wanted to touch on the AI hearings in Congress. And by touch on, I mean go super in depth on this because it's a really important topic. So the hearings are playing out right now. So we'll definitely be updating you guys as to exactly what has gone down. But I wanted to give you guys a really broad lay of the land because these hearings are really consequential. Let's get into it. So the CEO of OpenAI or ChatGPT is a man named Sam Altman, and he is currently testifying in Congress in a hearing and being questioned. If you guys remember, you know, the Facebook, Google, Amazon hearings, it's very similar to those hearings where basically the CEO is just going to get grilled and members of Congress are going to try and poke holes in their product and figure out what exactly the dangers are to the public. But in case you're unfamiliar, ChatGPT is a type of robotic servant, if you will, who can help you accomplish everyday tasks. Whether it's writing a paper, an email, creating social media content, ChatGPT can do a lot of different things. It's almost as if like Alexa/Siri had a baby with Google. Like it functions more like a search box, but it is similar to these other electronic assistants. So it also has a lot of people really freaked out, and we'll get into that. But back to Sam for 1 second. He is from Chicago, Illinois originally. He went to Stanford, but like the famous Steve Jobs or infamous Elizabeth Holmes, he actually dropped out of Stanford to work on his startup. So, one of those things. He's also a vegetarian. He's also openly gay. He's also Jewish. He served as CEO for Reddit for about a week, and he's had other ventures in the past that raised a ton of funding but kind of failed to thrive. Congress is calling on him now to help them understand this new technology of ChatGPT a little bit better. As we all know, the law is far behind in the category of technology. There is a woeful need for comprehensive technology laws. The categories of privacy, mental health, hate speech, and safety for our young people are just a few of the safety concerns related to technology that are going largely unchecked by our government. Not to mention things like antitrust. I mean, I could go on and on. The problem is that technology continues to move at the speed of light, and lawmakers are moving at a snail's pace. And, the wheels of justice turn slow. You could provide a ton of different analogies. But while we're all twiddling our thumbs, waiting for Congress to take some action, new safety concerns are popping up day by day. Whether it's China meddling through TikTok or our kids using AI robots to figure out how to harm themselves, it's downright disturbing what we're hearing about some of this new technology. And yet, lawmakers are still playing catch up. It can be kind of embarrassing at times. And some of these hearings in DC have really illustrated exactly how this gap has been perpetuated. The questions asked by some of the lawmakers to the CEO of Facebook and Google and then TikTok later on made absolutely no sense. If you have even a basic understanding of these technologies, you would never ask some of the questions that our leadership are asking. And you know what? It wastes everyone's time and it makes our lawmakers look incredibly ignorant. And I'm sorry, but it makes them look like idiots. It really does when they ask some of these questions. And now AI poses so many more dangers. For example, Senator Richard Blumenthal opened up hearings on Capitol Hill with a voice recording that was completely created by ChatGPT, and it sounded exactly like him. Because ChatGPT can splice up old speeches of his and make a new speech that sounds like it's in his voice. Imagine the implications there. Imagine if we have to question every single video, picture, or voice recording we encounter. Imagine voice recordings impersonating President Biden or the president of Ukraine. And this technology gets sharper every day. I don't know if you guys saw, but somebody actually created an image of Selena Gomez and tried to say it was Selena Gomez at the Met Ball now in 2023. She did not attend the Met Ball, and everyone thought she had made this surprise appearance. It wasn't real. So this is where we're headed in this sort of murky new day and age. Congress is also concerned that this technology will eliminate jobs and definitely poses potential dangers for young people. And again, the list goes on. What we've talked about today is honestly just the tip of the iceberg of all of the widespread, far-reaching implications of AI. Altman also met with the president and vice president to discuss how to move forward with this technology responsibly. He has even admitted to being a little bit afraid of his own product. Many tech leaders and professors even came together to sign a petition to end the work in AI because of all the dangerous implications of this technology. But how can you stop it once it's set into motion? As they say, it's hard to put toothpaste back in the tube. You can't unring a bell. This technology exists now, and what happens to society because of it is anyone's guess. And next up for today, Martha Stewart graces the cover of Sports Illustrated. So Martha Stewart, as you may have seen, has now become the first 81-year-old to grace the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. Martha was always the modest hostess with the mostest, a picture-perfect housewife, until that illusion was shattered by her time in jail for white-collar crimes. Since then, she's spent her time surprising us, whether that's becoming besties with Snoop Dogg, posting self-proclaimed thirst traps, or making jokes about ankle monitors. She is not afraid to break the mold of what we had previously thought of her. She has a sense of humor, and now she's posing in her swimsuit, bringing us some MILF or sugar mama energy. She is not the first woman over 60 to pose on this prestigious cover. Mae Musk beat her to that title, but she is the first woman over 80. So congrats to Martha Stewart. And lastly for today, we are going to discuss the World Health Organization weighing in on artificial sweeteners. So in case you didn't know, artificial sweeteners are unhealthy, period. They're not good for you. And I'd be the first to say that they are a step down from poison. And now the WHO has put out a study on the subject, and the results are definitely frightening. Not only do these fake sugars not help you lose weight, but they can actually increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, as well as mortality in adults. The WHO recommends that no one use these products, not adults, not children, nobody. And this includes versions of these chemicals that can be found in diet drinks or food products even. If you get like a sugar-free yogurt, if you look at the ingredients, things like aspartame are in there. And according to cancer.gov, aspartame specifically has been linked to an increased risk of developing cancer, but especially breast cancer and obesity-related cancers. So this is not something that's going to help you with weight loss. Aspartame is a main ingredient in a lot of fake sugars and diet drinks like Splenda, Equal, Diet Coke, the list goes on. According to Arizona Advanced Medicine, aspartame was even rejected by the FDA a number of times before being approved due to its link to brain tumors. Sexy, right? I know it's fun to laugh about our Diet Coke addictions, but this stuff is actually really dangerous, y'all. Aspartame, again, according to Arizona Advanced Medicine and the book Skinny Bitch, was only approved due to a connection to Donald Rumsfeld and the White House. They essentially forced the product through, and many think that it's not safe to have on the market. And now the WHO seems to agree, and they put out a statement based on their own studies. They do not recommend that anyone consume these products. Always be careful what you put in your bodies, babes. Health is wealth. And that is the news du jour. Today, I wanted to leave you guys with the quote, "How people treat you, that's their karma. How you react, that's yours." If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you use to listen. A rate and review or shout out on social media would mean the world to us and help us be able to keep creating the news du jour. But the best way to support all of our work is to become a patron at www.patreon.com/sugarfreemedia. You can also follow us on social media under sugarfreemedia.co on Instagram and just sugarfreemedia, all one word, on TikTok. We appreciate you listening and look forward to telling you about the news again next time on News du Jour.
Broadcasting from Oklahoma.